Well, a very good morning, everybody, for the forecast for Wednesday, the 8th of July. At the moment, we've got a waving weather front, which has been coming off the Atlantic, and you can see it goes out quite some way into the Atlantic. The BBC was sort of saying this was actually linked to an ex-tropical storm that had been sort of brewing up, but really hadn't caused any problems other than for us, low cloud and drizzle. So we can see fronts all around us at midday. And into tomorrow, the waving weather front doesn't really go particularly fast before an improvement into the weekend as a ridge of high pressure built in. As you'd expect with sort of Atlantic airflow, we would get somewhere in the region of sort of westerly. You can see actually it's quite different though. In the centre of the country, looking only about 5 to 10 knots. In the channel, it's 30 knots. So yeah, some quite clear differences there. But on the ground at Lasham, we would see somewhere in the region of about 10 to 15 knots, probably around 25 knots at flying heights. Public forecast is showing a dull and grey with poor visibility for most of the morning and only a very marginal improvement in the afternoon, and a deterioration again later in the day. And sort of fairly low temperatures for this time of year. There's all the drizzle at the moment. Nothing really significant. We're not going to get any thunderstorms or anything like that. But that will continue to sort of pile in as the day goes on. And as always happens with low cloud, drizzle will just form anywhere. And I can see it's outside my window at the moment. Satellite picture shows general just cloud piling in off the Atlantic. Only good when you get to the Lake Districts, sort of Carlisle area. Even in Scotland, though, it is a little bit cloudy. But yeah, pretty much the whole of England is and Wales is in cloud, and most of it quite low. If we have a look at XC weather, we'll be able to see how the extent of the low cloud is. We'll be able to see out towards Exeter, 1,100 feet, Pembury, 1,800 feet, so that's slightly better, but 200 feet at Bristol. And fairly consistent over areas, so quite a lot of low cloud. It's not localized, it's certainly not orographic. Infrared, as expected with sort of a waving weather front, has quite a lot of upper cloud associated with it, but the low cloud is more problematic, so the upper cloud is not really going to have a chance to pose as much of an issue. Temperature today, looking probably 16, 17, but obviously not really feeling that when we've got drizzle and a bit of wind. Dew points, unsurprisingly, are just about the same, which obviously indicates low-level cloud. The METAR at Farnborough is currently showing scattered to 600, broken at 900, visibility of 3,800 metres, and not really much better than that today. Broken clouds at 1,000 feet. Bear in mind, Farnborough is much lower than us. It sits in its own valley. So putting that above Lasham, we would probably likely not see a cloud base of above 700 feet looking at that. And Sawmet with their camera, that's the thing at the moment. I think I can see Graham is in the clubhouse. Yeah, not great. And Top Meteo, obviously showing today we're not going to get any cross-country distance unless you're at Sutton Bank. And at 11 o'clock we have rain and low cloud. As we go through the afternoon, that doesn't change. The site forecast is fairly similar, rain and drizzle throughout the day. Airspace wise, Solent will be active as always between 12 and 8 at the moment. Activity in the Boscombe zones, Fairford active all day for us. And other than that, not particularly too much else. So I think it's a fairly unanimous verdict. It's I normally want to see something positive out of these sorts of days, but unfortunately, waving weather fronts presents probably one of the biggest challenges in forecasting because the fronts can shift slightly and cause better conditions. But with the synoptics showing it being pretty much directly over us and so many of the forecasts pointing in the same direction, I don't think we have any real prospect of flying today, unfortunately. And as we sort of expected, with the return of two-seat flying, of course, it'll bring the bad weather in. My only sort of promise is that we will be able to get flying in the next few days because of the better weather coming in. And looking at that better weather, if we look on Friday, we can start to see it starts improving, especially into Saturday, looking like a big day on Saturday. There may be a few slots available at weekends. We'll try to open up a few more if we can. But based on the forecast today is scrubbed. There'll be no flying today. You will be able to get in contact with me. I'll put up on the slides because I'll work from home today. You will be able to get in contact with me either via mobile or email. I can run bronze exams today. I've got all of the stuff set up and I will be running a few today for some people. We run them via this. As such, I can do a virtual invigilation of the exams. Any other questions or queries, then let us know. My intention was to try and get pretty much all of you rebooked onto next Wednesday. So I'll start doing that. I'll have a chat with Nigel. We're okay in doing that. But other than that, apologies that we couldn't get through today, but hopefully some better weather ahead. I'll just put up my details and a reminder of the safety thought of the week, which I've introduced, which is to remember which launch are we taking. I've seen a number of launches where winching is not being necessarily flown particularly accurately. That can happen as a result of having done a lot of aerotows over a period of time with no winching and not getting the idea of where the rotation should happen. So each time before we launch, please make sure we're thinking what launch are we on, and more importantly, what hook are we on? Because there have been at least 2 occurrences that I've noticed where the glider has been on the wrong hook. Now that could be fairly catastrophic if it's let to get too far. So double check the hook that we're on, and cable handlers, launch point controllers, and anybody at the launch point does have the responsibility to say something if they see something, because none of us are infallible. I've got up the winch on the nose hook before by accident. It was a very, very stupid idea, but I got distracted. So yeah, just make sure we're looking out for each other and remembering the risks and the important factors of winch launching. Those are my details. If you wish to get in contact with me today, happy to take any queries, whether it's about the booking system or licensing or bronze exams. So whatever you got, chuck it into my inbox. But other than that, I will see you when the weather's better. Bye for now.